Hello there and welcome to this vlog of May 2024, and in today's video we're going to talk about shipping updates because there has been one, even though I don't think it's been formally announced yet, but we'll get into that in a second. Before I do anything though, I just want to give a quick channel update because you'll have noticed I've not been doing much content at all over the last few weeks, which is what I expected, because this office got completely turned upside down. All the shelving there that you can see at the back, I had to move it out. I don't know how this happened, but nothing got damaged, so it all went into my other room, into like one of my other bedrooms, and then they had to do lots of internals on the cavity walls, and I got some new wiring as well on the electrics. So this, well, the entire house has been a building site, but this room got its turn. Turned out all right, actually. No major dramas or problems. You'll probably see a bit of a change in how the setup here looks, though, over the next several weeks. The mainstay of the work, though, which is the extension at the back. Extension is now up. The garage is renovated. The garden is sorted out. So I'm just waiting for some of the internal stuff to be done. So that's some shelving that I'm getting put into the extension. Some like installed shelving, not like shelving units, and then a new floor. So I'm hoping that that will all be done in time for when the Kickstarter arrives, and then I can do an unboxing video in there, which has been my kind of intention for the last few weeks. So I'm just hoping the timings draw up, and in a way, I know this will not echo the sentiment of the community, but I'm quite happy if it gets a little bit delayed, which segues me nicely into why I think we might have a slight delay, because we have had some shipping issues. So I don't think it'll be too bad though. I think it might be the matter of 2 or 3 weeks. So it may still come in June, but it might be the back end of June, July time, as opposed to anything traumatic, 3 to 4 months or something. But yes, that does then get us on to topic today. So the last video that I did, which was about shipping as well, this one will also be about shipping. So I'm just going to give a quick update. As I said, I don't think anything formal has come out from Catalyst yet. At least I've not seen any updates. This video may go out and then the update may be there. I'm not too sure. But I haven't seen it anyway. What I have seen though is that I logged onto the BackerKit. I think it's called BackerKit anyway. Just let me double check that, because there has been some confusion, and I think some of the community still don't really know this exists. And yes, it is indeed called BackerKit. I thought that was it. We'll talk about that in a second, because I do think some of the community still don't know really what to do in terms of the back end stuff. So yeah, we'll deal with the issue first, then we'll deal with some of the logistics. But went into that this morning for the numerous accounts that I have with them, and saw that shipping was now live, which was good. So previously they'd had, for us in the UK, we'd had the VAT cost, which is very easy to work out. It's just 20% of the cost of your total. And then shipping was, obviously, we'd had that issue where the shipping costs had been miscalculated and everyone had been given these really high shipping costs. Today, though, I am happy to report that the shipping costs are now very, very reasonable. At least, well, let me just calm down there, Mr. Dust Counters. Let's talk about what is reasonable. For some people, it still will not be reasonable, because I think they've just come into this world of what shipping costs are this year, and they were expecting something significantly lower. Unfortunately though, well, for me, because I've had all the work done on the house recently, I've had so many things shipped in, like furniture and building materials and things like that. I am acutely aware of what the costs are in the UK, and that's important to know. I say that in the UK. So for some people, when I tell you these prices, they will seem quite cheap. For some people, they will seem very, very high. Another thing to keep in mind is that in the UK, you actually pay VAT, that's value-added tax, on shipping as well. So if your shipping was £100, you'd pay 20% on top of that, so it would be £120. VAT is basically just a tax that it's not controversial, but they keep like talking about getting rid of it and, you know, kind of amalgamating it into other things like income tax or whatever else. I mean, there are obviously dozens and dozens of taxes. So, you know, like it's something that we have in the UK. I think a lot of European countries have it as well. Pretty sure that America don't have it. I say that. I mean, maybe some states have some kind of variety of that. I'm not sure. But anyway, whatever, regardless. In the UK, it's 20%. So keep that in mind. When I talk about my shipping costs here, there is 20% added on top of that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show anything today because I'm just going to talk through it. But I've got 3 examples of 3 of the Kickstarters that I have bought previously because I did buy a regiment, a battalion, and a company. So the regiment is for me, although there were 3 battalions on the side of that, but we'll get into that in a second because that really does kind of hike the shipping cost. I then bought, well, to caveat this, I bought loads of Kickstarters basically, but these are 3 because this covers a regiment, a battalion, and a company. So I thought these would be 3 good ones to focus in on. The company as well was sent to the US directly. The battalion though is getting sent to me directly, and then I will be sending that on because it was for somebody on continental Europe who I think they can get it delivered, but it's just cheaper for me to do it as opposed to getting it where they are located. So yeah, I just decided to do it that way. So I'll cover these 3, and then you can see then what the new prices are like. So this is for my Kickstarter, so the main one that I bought. This came in at a total of, it says here like it was about approximately like $1,600, but I had a lot of add-ons with that as well. I mean, I think that might be yeah. So actually, I'm reading this incorrectly. Actually, it's just talking about the pledge on the Kickstarter. The total that I paid on this is so it was $500 for the regiment, and then it was $1,300 for the add-ons. So that included 3 battalions and lots of other things as well, like dice trays and books and all other different kinds of things. Some of that was pretty big. Oh, well, bigger. So, like, I bought the 2 drop ships that you can get, so they'll come in pretty, like, decent sized packaging. That, therefore, does have an impact on shipping. But I'm just saying this in regards of that is a lot of boxes, right? Like, if you think about it, like, the regiment box itself will be big because there are lots of the support packs that you get in there. The battalion boxes will then equal, maybe like half the size of that, but still big. This is 1 regiment, 3 battalions plus add-ons. So the box on this, if you got it all in one box, I mean, I'm not even joking, it will probably be like, I don't know, I would say an eighth of this room or something. It will be very, very tall and very, very wide. So it will be huge. Now, so that's something to keep in mind there. That is a big package. And they did say, I think on the comms that Catalyst came out, that unless there were like, unless someone had gone in at like an insane level, like, thousands and thousands of dollars, or they'd done what I am always going to call the full Kerensky, but I don't know what they call it now. But that's basically people who were going in at like these special levels, very high levels. I didn't do that. I just got the regular versions of the Kickstarter. I just got it multiple times across multiple people. So what I'm saying is that is a big package. The final shipping cost on that, and this is inclusive of that. So this is going to be a factor in this, was $161.53 minus about $30 approximately for the VAT on top of that shipping. That then gives you in at about $130, which I think is incredibly good considering how big this package is. Again, I'm holding my horses on that one because I say that under the caveat I'm talking from the UK, where our shipping prices might be more, especially when you add VAT on that as well. But pretty pleased with that, to be honest. I knew as well that the whatever 20% is of $1,800, that was the VAT as well. So I always knew that I was going to have to pay that on top of it. So I was pretty stoked with that. I was expecting. On this shipment alone, I was expecting it to come in at, a significant amount more. maybe like buy an extra $150 or something like that. So I've got really no complaints at all. They've refactored in, they've kind of formulated all the shipping costs, and it absolutely, to me, worked a treat. So there you go. The second one that I got, so this is for a battalion, again to the UK. So again, keep in mind that a battalion, I'm guessing it's going to be like this kind of size. It won't be like too massive. It'll be like a big, it's not a box that you'd probably want to carry around, too far, because it'll be very big and bulky. But yeah, it's going to be it won't be too crazy. It's not like the regiment and the 3 battalions that I'm getting, which I think, I mean, I don't even know how they're going to get that down my driveway. They might have to bring some kind of device because it's going to be absolutely huge. But for this one, this is a sensible box. This one, and this was, I had one add-on on this. I got, think the add-on on here, I'm just looking now, I think it was a box of the Somerset Strikers that I got. Can't be too sure, but so that's only a small box. That's not going to have too much impact on shipping. Oh, sorry. You know what? Looking at the wrong bit here. Doesn't matter though, because I've not said anything yet. But I've got 3, and I was looking at the wrong one there. Let me just switch tabs. Yeah. So. Sorry. The add-on for the battalion, then, yeah, indeed, it was $35. So it was it was almost certainly the Somerset Strikers box. The shipping for this to the UK, again, this is the $275 pledge level for the battalion. Shipping, a very, very reasonable $46.83. Nice. Plus, then, that's obviously got the VAT on there as well, so that's $9.33. So, yeah, again, pretty big box, pretty reasonable, actually very reasonable, I think, shipping for that. Then finally, and this is for a company, and I'm getting this company here, this is getting sent directly to the US. This is for $150 pledge, and I've got here something I've bought in there for $4, so I don't know what that is. I might have bought someone an extra box or something, I'm not sure. The shipping on this was to Utah, I believe, on $150. The shipping here was $29.43, and there is indeed a shipping tax to Utah by the looks of it, which comes in at a hefty $1.80, and state tax of $9.39. So that might be their equivalent of VAT or something along those lines. Not too sure. But again, I think that's where I think it is quite. I'm not going to say it's high because it's $30 for shipping, but it's something where you think I might have assumed, because if it's getting done out of America anyway, I might have assumed that the one was going to be maybe like $25, but no, it's $29 plus the state shipping tax. So yeah, all in all though, when you kind of add all those up for those 3, I've got other Kickstarters as well that I've not discussed here. I think my total costs were in and around, like, for all tax and all shipping and things like that, it came in like over $1,000, which I was like pretty much expecting anyway. I think, in fact, no, sorry, under $1,000. I think it was. I can't remember. I've not had like a really kind of. I've not put that much thought into it. I just paid. I went onto the BackerKit this morning and paid them all. So it was something along those lines. And that's, it's multiple packages getting shipped to multiple parts of the globe, plus all the tax and whatnot. And I was expecting in and around that cost anyway. I do think, though, because of the level that I feel like I've saved on the regiment, or like my Kickstarter, which I thought would be really, really expensive, I feel like I've actually had quite a good customer experience there in terms of the cost. It's not coming at anything of a shock. It was a little bit of a shock when they first calculated it, because the shipping costs seemed pretty much double to what I was expecting. But hey ho, here we are, happy with that. Will this then cause any delays? Well, we are now, today as I'm recording this, it's the 2nd of May. Do I think there'll be any implications on this? I think it will be a matter of weeks. I think it's been about, it seems about three weeks since I recorded that video on shipping. So I would guess that we will see maybe that extra level, that 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks or whatever in terms of delays. They also, as well, they're going to have to put deadlines on this. They've not put the comms out yet, but I'm sure that will be coming probably today or tomorrow. So then everyone will go on to the BackerKit. They'll, pay what they need to pay. They're going to have to give people a pretty good deadline for that. So I'm guessing it's going to have to be like a couple of weeks at least. So you probably see like a deadline for that in and around like mid to the latter end of May. So yeah, it's not nothing too traumatic. Speaking completely selfishly, I'm actually very, very happy if this comes to me at the end of June. That will mean then that I'm pretty sure by that juncture all the house will be done, and I can actually do my my unboxing video without having to do it in a bit of a building site downstairs in what will be the new extension. Let's have a quick word on BackerKit though, because I was, as I think a lot of us do, I was going through some of the comments on the Kickstarter page, and obviously with what's happened over shipping, there is some confusion, there is some like heat being thrown at Catalyst for what's gone on. Looks now though like they've rectified it as well as they can. I know it's not going to please everybody. Some people are going to be pretty upset with the shipping costs still, and have got a nasty surprise on it. For those people, I feel bad for those people, because it's an extra cost on top of it that you probably don't think about when you are signing up to this thing a year in advance. So yeah, but I did see a few comments of people saying things like, what is BackerKit? Where is this thing? Now, they must know what it is because you had to do it to fulfill your pledge, right? So they've probably had it and then forgotten about it. What I'm going to do in the description below, I'll put a link through to the BackerKit site. It's really then quite simple. So you should have an account already, given that you've done the pledge manager, which went through that system. But if not, if anything went wrong with that, or you've not had an account, you've done it another way. I mean, maybe there are other ways to do it. I'm not sure at all. All you need to do to kind of track and to pay your shipping and things like that is you go onto the link that will be in the description below. Now, it's been ages since I did this because I did it all last year, but if memory serves me, you then just sign up with the same email address that you signed up to the Kickstarter with, and it will automatically find your data. So there is a tab on the BackerKit site. Just let me have a look. See here. Yeah, so when you go into the main page, there is like on your, like all those websites have like an account profile button, right? It's usually got like a picture. It's got like the circle for a head and the two shoulders or something like that. If you click onto that, and there's a listing that says like your pledges, something like that anyway, or your surveys, I think they call it. I think that's where the terminologies get a bit odd. But if you go into that and then you click it basically takes you to a separate page when you've clicked onto the BattleTech Mercenaries Kickstarter, and in that section it will give you a full breakdown of all the costs, and it will tell you exactly what you can now pay for. And like I said, if your experience is anything like mine today, then you should be able to go on and pay that immediately. You can do it through PayPal. I think you can do it through your credit cards or whatever else you want to do. I actually did that through PayPal because it just seemed the easiest option. Slightly annoying. I would have actually done a demo on the video today, so I would have minimized me and gone through the site. But when I was testing to do that, I can't do it because it's basically all my private data. It's all my email address and home address and everything that you really don't want everything like that out online. Seeing as well, I think there might be some blurring problems with my my camera today. It's probably because it's not been used in weeks. It's probably just adjusting to the sunlight. I might have it on a manual setting that needs sorting out, but hopefully that's not too distracting. But that's it basically. So yeah, to surmise, job is a good one. We have now got all the shipping seems to have come through, or it certainly has in the UK. And I think if it has in the UK, it probably has done in the US as well, which is obviously where the mainstay of the Kickstarters are. There might still be some delays across like Asia or Australia for it, not too sure. But yeah, for now, looks like you can go on and pay your shipping. I had no problem with paying that immediately as well. I'm not going to sit back and wait. I think as well, it may be that, the sooner that people just get on there and pay it, the sooner they'll have any less issues to do, and they'll be able to kind of proceed with what they're doing in terms of getting all the logistics sorted out and shipping. If you've never done a Kickstarter before, I'll give you a quick synopsis of how this works when it does go through the logistics BackerKit section, whatever you call it. Or this is certainly how it worked last time. they'll send out all the kind of the cargo that comes over from China, all the plastics and all the material and everything else. They'll put that into hubs. They then get like pickers to go and pick your order. So for instance, so for me, I think I've got dozens upon dozens upon dozens of the little, the different box sets you can get. On my order, it will say like, right, there are 6 vehicle support, 6 clan something or other, 6 inner sphere security lances, whatever else. They'll go through, they'll pick each, as many as you need, put it all into the box, and then it basically just gets taped up. Now, I don't know I think at that juncture, they're all at the logistics centres now. I think previously it was done through a local logistics centre. It seems like, though, and somebody may be able to clarify this in the comments below, it sounds like it's all getting done in the US. Or if it's not getting done in the US, it might be getting done locally. It's just that the logistics hub seems to be happening in the US. So it's either a US firm that have got like distribution centres throughout Europe. And then once your order is in, when you've paid shipping, they then lock in your address. You'll see that if you go into the BackerKit. At the moment, I think there are like 4 stages on there. So 2 are green. And the third one is like locked address. That's still not green. And then there is shipped. That's obviously not green as yellow because they've not gone out. But you'll be able to go into that and check exactly when they are sending your order. Now, if it is getting sent from the US, which I get the suspicion it is, but again, I'm not entirely sure. For people in Europe, if you're in like a major market like Germany or UK, my experience with US shipping is it's pretty quick. It usually comes within like 2 to 3 weeks. So if they do close all this down by like mid to the end of May, I think you can probably expect the orders to come in, on international anyway, probably towards the end of June. US might get it quicker. And I remember last time there was a bit of controversy because they sent out all the small orders first, and then they basically did all the big orders last. So everyone who had like a massive order ended up getting it quite late. That was in the UK anyway. I'm not sure how the other distribution centres works, but it's one of those things where when you think about customer service, and I don't mean to be selfish here, but you kind of want to give priority to someone who spent like thousands and thousands on a product, as opposed to someone who maybe have spent like, I don't know, $100 or something like that. So they may have had some complaints over that. I didn't have any complaints over it personally, but some people may have been like, I'm being penalised because I spent a lot of money with your company, basically. Anyway, that's it. I think this gets us up to just over 20 minutes, so I'll leave it there. I am now really going to, put this another way. One advantage that me not being able to do any recording over the last few months, really, one advantage has been that I've really been able to kind of codify all my homebrew rule sets. That's for both the campaign and like tabletop BattleTech as well. I think, when I've kind of out of this lull with the house and it's all done, and I feel really energized at the moment. I think when the Kickstarter comes as well, I'll be super like engaged because I'm just going to have like hundreds of things to paint. I've got loads of different like forces to do, different like companies from mercenary, just loads of different things that I'm going to be engaged with. Plus, got a couple more things to record with DFA as well, and then we take a summer hiatus. So when we're kind of off that summer hiatus, I think that's when I'll really kind of get into it. And at that juncture, I can see not saying my passion ever dimmed for this, but obviously with a house, that's taken priority. But I think when my passion is back for it, really, I will really start to be able to kind of finish those videos on campaign operations, and kind of start maybe, like running local games as well. There is a local hobby shop to me that's about like a mile down the road, which I've been keen to kind of get involved with. So I think at some juncture, given that I moved last year and I kind of moved to a brand new city, I don't have any relatives here or I have friends at work, but didn't really know anyone in the city per se. So I think like I'll start to get more traction on that. I'll start to be able to use things like Dropbox, where I'm going to kind of stick all my files for my kind of homebrew systems. And I, again, finished that campaign operations series of videos that I was doing on kind of an intro to that, how to build like a force and how to kind of play a force. And it will be good for me because then I'll be playing these kind of campaigns with people while kind of, revisiting the rules and kind of saying about things that I think are problematic in there or things that need changing or things that are great or whatever else. So I think you'll probably see a new me over the next like 6 to 12 months. In that, I think my engagement will then be heavier. But again, at the moment, still kind of in a bit of a flux period in regards what is actually going to be happening with the house, and in terms of like, how I'm recording and what's going on and things like that. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So be patient with me. I think give me another 4 to 8 weeks and I'll be back solid. Doing my weekly videos, get back into the law stuff as well. And I can also then envisage, again, when I get the Kickstarter, I can start. Like I said, I've said this before. Lots of people say, "Can we see your models at the back?" Yes, I'd love to do that, but it's going to have to be downstairs. I really don't have the kind of recording area here to do it. But down there, I can put like a flat table out. I can get the camera set up, and then I can kind of sit in front of the what will be the wall shelving in the extension where I'm going to be playing the games basically, or some of the games, and then I can kind of sit there and run through it and kind of have the camera at a much better angle. Up here, this is basically my office space, so a bit more difficult to do it up here. Anyway, I will leave it there this time, so I will thank you very much for watching. Good luck with your shipping. I hope that all goes smoothly, and I hope that you get your Kickstarters quickly, and I'll leave it there, so I'll hopefully catch you again next time.